As a platform, Android has had some truly classic games. Games so addictive, games so popular, they have literally overtaken our day-to-day lives. But in this video I'm going to show you the most addictive Android titles that you're less likely to have heard of. So the first game on the list is Stick Cliff Diving. Far from the most feature-rich, polished, or even graphically impressive title, but you will forget all of that when you download it. It is a complete joy to play. You get assigned a series of tasks of increasing difficulty, and you have to perform them. It could be jump off a cliff and do a dive, all the way up to jump off a huge cliff, do 3 flips in the air, and then land on your front. And after observing each stunt, you're then ranked by 5 different judges, and their cumulative score decides whether or not you can proceed to the next round. So then we have Little Things Forever. Quite a unique concept when it comes to Android games, and the idea here is that there is a list of things you need to find in each level, and they are completely mixed up with thousands of things that you don't. And so, teaming up with a friend of yours or a cousin or a sibling, this is an extremely fun game to play. As you sort of scour the level trying to complete it as quickly as possible, you'll realise about 10 minutes into the game that you're nowhere near as good at it as you thought you would be. And that's where the hints come in. So if you're ever stuck on a level, summon a hint and then all of a sudden it'll completely narrow down the area where the object you're trying to find could possibly lie. Then we have Impossible Road, probably one of the most fast-paced, infuriating, but at the same time insanely addictive titles on an Android platform. You're in control of a ball rolling down an extremely challenging path, and the only controls you have are left and right. And what makes it more interesting is when you do fall off the track, trust me it will happen, there is a small chance you can actually rescue the situation, land back on the track, skip 30 checkpoints, and claim the best score of the day. Let's just say it's a pretty good thing that the game makes it easy to hit that restart button. So then we have a game that has been out for quite a while on the platform, but I'm surprised I haven't seen more people playing it. This is Minigos Zombies. It combines RPG elements with a kind of top-down shooting kind of action, and it works really well. You face wave after wave of a diverse set of enemies, including some pretty frequent boss battles across a wide variety of locales, and it is incredibly easy to get swarmed. The secrets to success are constantly staying on your feet, constantly carrying the best weapon, and keeping up to date on your upgrades. Now, another almost entire genre of games that I think a lot of people are missing out on are the evolution games. Now, between themselves they're almost all the same, but you need to try at least one of them. So the one we've got here is Shark Evolution, but the idea stays the same. You combine 2 lower grade creatures together, and that creates 1 higher grade creature. Continuing to do this means you start to produce coins at a faster rate, and then you can reinvest those coins to further improve your capabilities for producing higher grade sharks. And the satisfaction here really comes in seeing what crazy creatures these developers have created, and in really customizing them. Some of your coins can also be spent on cool little accessories, which really make it worth the effort. So on the subject of sharks, there is the Hungry Shark series of games. Again, if you've missed it out, complete nightmare, you need to start now. And if you are going to give Hungry Shark a go, start with Hungry Shark World, that is their latest and greatest edition. So the core concept has stayed the same. You're a shark, you're exploring the undersea world, which is beautiful by the way, but you're dying. You're dying because you need to eat, and you need to eat fast. So you have to constantly munch on creatures, gaining combos, gaining extra coins, discovering hidden treasures while you're at it, and there is always that next thing you want to grind for in this game. Whether it's increasing the power or the speed of your current sharks, unlocking new sharks, buying things which change the appearance of your sharks, genuinely it'll take you a lot of time to complete this one. So released around July last year, we've got Don't Touch the Spikes, a game which I actually got some early hands on with, and I pegged to be the next Flappy Bird sensation. You essentially control a bird by simply tapping on the screen, so controls are extremely simple and you can play with one hand. And you're constantly faced with a bit of a dilemma. You want to collect new candies so you can unlock new upgrades and new birds, but at the same time you don't want to be impaled on a spike. And it's always interesting watching people play the game. Oftentimes people are so completely caught up in their indecision, they end up going halfway in between 2 places they kind of think are good ideas, and they end up dying as a result. Now another thing that, to be honest, I think is a complete stroke of genius here is the introduction of multiplayer. 2 people playing against each other on the same device. Next up we've got a game you probably will have heard of. This is Doodle Jump, a game so old that this was one of the first titles to actually make the iPod Touch popular. It is an extremely addictive game where you essentially have one objective: you get as high as possible. You do this by making sure you don't miss any of the bounce pads and landing on as many of these wacky boosts as you possibly can. And as you may be able to tell, this game has had a huge number of upgrades since its original launch. There's a pretty wide variety of seasonal themes now which genuinely do affect the way the game plays out, and they've also introduced some sort of vague mission structure. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed those games, and if you did, I've got tons more content like this on my channel, so do check it out. With that being said, I'm Mr. Who's the Boss, and I'm signing out.